You look troubled. How are you, my child?
I cannot take this anymore. Can I really survive this?
Your husband again? Listen, dear, tell yourself you can and you will. If I survived, so can you. Let's go inside. Welcome to my home, my dear. Can I get you anything to eat or drink?
No, thank you, Mom.
I am now Mama. I was once like you. Listen to my story. I was beautiful with a bright future. I was young, intelligent, and vibrant. Everyone tells me that. I loved learning and wanted to study medicine. Until I met my husband, Uzodinma, who deceived me into marriage. But thanks to my family who rescued me. Hear my story and also learn from it. I was only 18 years when the storm began.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're from this compound?
Yes.
I have been observing you and I must confess you are beautiful and intelligent. You speak well. Are you in school?
I stopped so that my two older siblings will finish. My father said I will go back next year.
That's a waste. You're too intelligent. If I marry you, I'll take you to the city. I'll send you back to school.
You mean it?
I mean, I'm serious about you.
Let me think about it. I have heard stories of empty promises from men.
It is a promise. If you marry me, I'll take you to the city and train you in school. So did you think about my proposal? What is the answer? Please don't say no.
You can come and see my father.
Young man, you said you want to marry my daughter.
That's true, sir.
Did she tell you she has not completed her school?
She told me, sir. But that's not a problem. I will train her.
I have heard such promises. Sometimes they are never fulfilled. I want to train my daughter myself. I don't want any disappointment. I give you my word, sir. I will speak to my daughter. My daughter, I have spoken to the young man. What do you say?
Papa, he said he would train me in school.
Your father is willing to train you. Promise me you will not forget schooling.
I promise, Papa.
But if he is a good man, he will not kill your dreams. My children, I bless your union. It shall be fruitful, and may God be with you both.
Amen.
At last, it is happening.
Yes, it is.
My dear, the marriage ceremony is now over. Your husband will soon return to the city, but tradition demands you stay here for a while.
Okay, Mama. For how long?
It won't be for long, just for tradition to be fulfilled.
Okay, Ma.
Meanwhile, go and prepare lunch for everyone. We will have some boiled rice and chicken stew.
Yes, Ma.
Ola, don't cry. As soon as the traditional rites are over, I will come back for you.
When will that be?
Not for long.
I was left to stay with his family while Uzo returned to the city. They did not see a wife. They saw a worker and a slave. I cooked for everyone. I cleaned for everyone. I washed clothes that were not mine, from morning till night. If the food was finished, it was my fault. If water spilled, it was my fault. If someone was angry, it was my fault. They said they were training me, but training should not break a person. And in my naivety, I believe that the more respectful and obedient I am, the more I will please them. But I was wrong. His sisters were older than me, yet they ordered me around like a slave. What hurt the most was not the work. It was that my husband saw everything when he visited and said nothing. The narrative continues. That silence was louder than shouting. When I became pregnant, my child, nothing changed. I still woke before the sun. I still cooked. I still cleaned. I still carried water with a life growing inside me. They said pregnancy is not sickness. I was not allowed to visit other women. I was not allowed to talk too much. They said people would put ideas in my head. My husband returned to the city. I asked to go with him. He said no. He said a wife belongs in her husband's family house. When I asked about the hospital, they laughed. They said antenatal costs money. They said strong women do not run to hospitals. They said our mothers gave birth at home. So I carried my pregnancy with fear, with silence, and with work. That was when I learned something. Sometimes People don't harm you with blows. They harm you by refusing to care. The narrative continues in part 6. My child, the work did not stop. I continued to do all the house chores with my heavy pregnancy. The most painful part was that when it was time to eat, I was not allowed to go near the pot, despite me being the only cook. My mother-in-law dished the food. She would remind me that during her time, daughters-in-law does not dish out food from their mother-in-law's pots, and that it is disrespectful to do so. But her daughters help themselves from the same pot. I could not understand how and why it was not disrespectful for me to cook by myself, but after cooking, it suddenly becomes disrespectful to dish out my food from the same pot and food that I cooked. I endured. Whatever she dished out, that was what I ate. There was no consideration of the fact that I was pregnant and needed to feed well. One day, at 7 months, I started feeling pain from my lower back and lower stomach. My body was getting weaker, but it was my first pregnancy and I did not understand what was happening to me. I was afraid. When I complained, they said I was exaggerating and dismissed my concern. I was called weak and trying to escape from house the chores. Thankfully, that same day, my mother came to visit. Just one look at me and she knew. She took me to the hospital. The doctor said I had anemia and that I could lose my baby. That was when I learned. Starving a woman is also abuse. The narrative continues in part 8. After we got to the hospital, my mother did not leave my side. She stayed with me. She watched as they explained that I was severely anemic and at risk of losing my baby. When they said I needed a blood transfusion, my mother held my hand. She stayed through the treatment. She fed me. She helped me to bath, and for the first time in a long while, I was loved and cared for. She remained with me until I was strong enough to be discharged. It was after we returned to my husband's house that my mother confronted my mother-in-law, who has never shown any concern. Their voices were raised. Words were exchanged. I did not hear everything they said, but I knew my mother was not happy and also afraid. Afraid of losing me and the child inside me. That confrontation did not change anything. The work did not stop, but it changed something inside me. It showed me that what I had been enduring was not normal. My parents watched closely. They saw that the house had learned nothing from the hospital visit, so they made a decision.
It's all right, my dear. I'm here with you. The acting scene continues. Stay tuned.